Future, California Girls, let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Today we got Future. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was really hoping for, another album or like mixtape coming out or an EP, whatever the fuck it was supposed to be. I thought Ken Carson was gonna drop cartoons. And, once again, I've been lied to. It was on the official Twitter account, so I was thinking, maybe it was coming out, maybe it was going to drop. And then I look, am I going to have to wait till like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m.? I have absolutely no clue. But we do know who dropped today, and it was Future's new album. This is a long-ass album, like 22 songs. I mean, I haven't really reviewed much of Future in a while, but this is like one of like the first albums, in the new year that he's dropped. So I guess we can check it out. I will be checking out this album. Apparently there is hidden features. The song I picked today absolutely had no hidden features on it. But anyways, we had California Girls to talk about today, so let's get into it. Starting off with this beat. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all, this is one of the most generic-ass trap beats I've ever heard in my life. I mean, I really tried to give it a chance, but, the drums are very basic. I will say the 808s, the 808s are definitely, like one of the things that's, turned up to, 200 on this beat. But it doesn't help that the drums are pretty generic. The sample in the background sounds like any other sample I've heard in my life. And, just overall, this beat is just so basic, so boring that it just kind of makes me roll my eyes when I listen to this fucking song. I mean, you just can't make this up. I really try to give stuff like this a chance, but California Girls definitely suffers from one of the most generic trap beats just absolutely out there, in my opinion. So I just cannot get behind this production at all. I'd rather put a gun to my head than listen to this production. Honestly, I'd rather jump off a cliff than listen to this basic-ass trap production. It's just kind of okay, in my opinion. Just nothing really going on here. I wish there was more to this beat. Maybe some beat switches. Maybe add some better drums. Just maybe add something, just a little bit more to this beat. I just feel like it is way too basic, in my opinion. It is kind of way too whatever. So overall, this production is just overall basic production. Just nothing really catching my eye. Just, it's just kind of whatever. And, when songs like this are just kind of whatever, I just kind of look at it just like, why am I even listening to this track? I mean, hopefully this Future album has more to it, but, these, I don't know, these, Rod Wave type beats, that's what I kind of, think about it. It's like a Rod Wave type beat. It's the basic trap soul sample production, just what the fuck am I even listening to? Anyways, let's get to the hook. The California Girls hook, it's not bad. I would think Future's melodic vocals on here just don't really sound that bad, to be honest with you. To be real, we've recently listened to, Rod Wave. Rod Wave's dropped a couple of tracks. And, and I've listened to a lot of YoungBoy, and there's some melodic songs on there. I will say this is probably the better melodic trap song. Vocal-wise, vocal delivery, those other artists, they just don't really cut it when it comes to making melodic sounds. And I do think Future does sound pretty good on here on the hook. Just, the hook's just kind of basic. It's a little repetitive. And repetitive hooks can work. I think, if you do listen to the song enough, it could get stuck in your head, but it's also one of those things where, it's kind of basic, kind of boring. I like the vocals, but, the vocals ain't really speaking to me that much, in my opinion. Just, I don't know. I obviously did not pick a good track to start out with this album. It's just kind of the first one on the YouTube, music page that I checked out. So I didn't pick the first song to start off with this album, so I'm a little scared to jump into this album, but maybe, it'll be a lot better. Just, this sounds not really the best. And then the verses. I will say, the verses are not good. I cannot get down with this. I cannot get down with the same flow for the 2 verses. You know, this is Future. You know, I want some vocal switches. I want some flow switches, you know. I want something that's a little bit more, in my opinion. So, overall, I will say this is probably one of the most basic-ass Future songs I could ever pick. And for a song that came out in 2026, I mean, come on. You know, I'm expecting just a tad bit more. This song is just way too basic. You know, the beat's not anything crazy. The vocals are not anything crazy. The flows, the hooks, like, it's just kind of whatever, in my opinion. I wish there was just a tad bit more on this song. So, you know, starting off with the Future's new album, The Real Me, this is definitely not the track to start out with. I do not recommend jumping into this track before you jump into the album. This is kind of on me, and this is kind of on Future, because this is the most basic-ass, like, melodic trap song I've ever heard in my goddamn life. It's just kind of whatever, from the beat to the verses to the hook. So overall, I will have to give this song like a 5 out of 10. Like, I cannot get behind this song at all. 5 out of 10. What'd y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. And I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping maybe cartoons from Ken Carson was going to come out, and I was going to have a really good time with that, but it's looking like that is not happening. I'm going to keep refreshing the page. You know, I'll probably be up all night, so, you know, I'll see if, you know, maybe it has to really be the 10th. Maybe it's like 12 a.m. this is going to drop. Maybe it's 1 a.m. Maybe it's pulling some Cardi shit where it dropped at like 4 a.m. You know, I just hope this project drops, because, you know, I'm about to listen to Future tonight. I will listen to Future tonight. I will see how the album goes, but I am a little disappointed King Carson didn't drop, so I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Yeah, guys. Bye.